I'm putting together a daily habits worksheet for all my clients, anybody who wants it. And since I'm creating it live, I thought I would just record it for anybody who's interested in learning a little bit more on how to get better at that. So far, I just started with a quick structure for the month, a title, all the daily habits that we're going to have that you might have, whatever it is, you know, exercise daily, for instance, something like that, or whatever it is that you want, plug it in, stuff like that. So I will continue with my cup of coffee in hand. But a lot of what we're going to do is create it once and then duplicate. So we got week 1 here. And all we have to do now for week 1 is just copy it and create. Oops. Let's try that again. Oh my goodness. We can, I guess copy paste is probably going to be the easiest way, even though it's going to screw with my numbers. Little trick here for the numbers is that if you want the numbers to be in order, instead of just taking like the 7 and dragging that, because that's going to just drag more 7s, what you want to do is drag 2 numbers together, because when you drag 2 numbers together, then the computer just logically thinks that you're trying to create the sequential nature. Now, we're going to have each week broken out, and I'm going to do a different color. We'll go with, I like the green and the black, and then I will make that something like that. Week 2. That's kind of cool. Now, what I'll do is, now that I have the 2 weeks, I will copy both, which is a Control C, and Control V. Now again, we have the sequential problems. I'm going to highlight 2 and carry forward. There we go. 3. Week 3. Week 4. All right, now we're always going to have a little bit of a week 5. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take my whole week here. We are going to paste it. Call it week 5. And then I'm going to obviously shrink this down. Delete those columns. So my week 5 is now that. Do more sequential. There we go. There we go. Okay. Very good, very good. Now, one thing I didn't check was Fortunately for us, Sunday is the first of the month, so I didn't even realize that. Got a little lucky there. Okay, so now we have all 5 weeks, 31 days. You can check your habits on a regular basis. Let's add some other things to this. We could do maybe a little tracker at the bottom. Get a little bit of a border here. I tend to like a black border. And let's do a tracker of some sort here. Done and not done, maybe. Done, not done. Something like that. So we can track how many we've completed and how many we haven't. And then let's do daily percentage. Completed. So I was on Twitter. I saw somebody who created something similar. And I thought, man, this would be great. It's an easy way to track everything. Let me create this for my clients as a little bonus to hopefully help them, get it together, keep it together. Okay. Now we want to add a couple of things here. These check marks need to be designated as ones or zeros in order to sum up the done and not done, because really what we want to do here is we want to sum up everything you've accomplished every day so that it's easy to calculate. Now, how do we do that? Well, there's a function in data validation for the checkboxes. So we have the checkbox already set. We want to use a custom cell so that when it's checked, it's read as 1 versus non-checked, it's read as 0. Okay. So we need to do that. And if that's the case, if I check this now, the sum should, turn into a 1 down here. Check it again, and the sum turns into 0. So I'm going to add up all that, copy paste, and just so you know, I don't know how familiar you are, but this little box in the corner here, little square blue box, when you carry that anyway, you will also be copying that to how many ever cells you want to copy it to. So we just copied all the way down. So for instance, if we were to check the next box, data value validation, we already see that it's been set up properly. So it saves an incredible amount of time. So what do we want to do? We want to check our done. So now if I check any of these boxes, we're going to see this thing going from 1 to 3. There we go. 3 boxes checked. There's a 3. Now this is not done. We want to know how many did we not do. So the only way we're going to be able to do this or not the only way, but what we want to do is we want to determine how many habits have you placed, how many daily productive habits have you placed in here. So this is going to be a count function. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we're counting only the number of habits that you have, because you may not have 18 habits. You may have less than 18. So if I count that and I subtract, so that's the number of habits minus the number done, that's going to be what's left. There we go, 15. And the daily percentage, we're going to do that too. So all that is once again, we're going to take the amount that you did, divide that by the count of everything, all of the items that you have. Now, I'm going to show you something in a second. There we go. Now we have a percentage. Let's clean that percentage up. I like 1-digit percentages, not 2. And I get into the habit of changing the color a little bit. We can maybe make that percentage 1 item smaller so you could see it. Very nice. Very nice. All right. So what we want to do is we want to copy this all the way across. Let's uncheck those for now. So everything's working nicely. Now, what we want to do is the counts. The counts should stick. And what I mean by that is that this A through C is the number of daily habits that you have. So if I were to take this and copy across, it's no longer going to read properly, as you can see here, because it's taking the count and now adding the wrong items, count A, D through F. So now it's just dragging along the cells because it believes that's what I want. So I want to keep these cells in place. Now the way you keep them in place is you put a $sign in front of the letter that you want it to stick. And I'm putting a $sign on the in front and behind, because that means that no matter how you copy it, it's going to stay in that range. So now, if I were to take that, carry it over, it's going to remain 18. Look at that. CA through, count A through C, count A through C. It's all good. It's all good. And then I can carry this over. Oh, wait a minute. Also have to do the same for the percentage, because it's also tracking count A through count C. There we go. And now we have a wonderful tracking system. There we go. And now when you put your habits in, if you only have 12, what you want to do is make sure you blank out the rest. Because when you do that, notice how the not done, the count is now 12 instead of 18, because you don't want the wrong percentages. If you only have 12 and you get 12 done, but you have 18 items on here because you didn't delete them, then of course you're going to have the wrong percentage. You're not going to have 100% complete. You're going to have what? 67% complete. Okay, not bad. Now we got to copy this across. So What do we got to do? We got to take all of our first column boxes that we've designated. So now I'm going to have a little bit of a run over. I'm going to copy paste everything really quickly. So now it's all copy pasted. And boom. We got that done. Looking good. Looking good. Very nice. Okay, so now I can double check that, see if that's correct. Hit a checkbox there. That should hit a 1. There's a 17, 5.6%. Beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to take the rest of this spreadsheet and track it over. Nice. Bam. Bam. Let's check these. Bam. Okay. All right. Very nice. Very nice. So now we have all of our check boxes ready to go. We have completed, not completed. You know what I'm going to do here is I'm going to now, let's see, what else should we do? We've got that. We've got that. I think we should probably put in a graph up top. What do you say? Let's put a graph up top and maybe the number completed on the edges here. So that now we have a way of counting the percentage complete of our tasks. We can have the number completed for the month. Maybe do something like that. And a chart up top. Okay, I'm going to add some charts. I'm going to add a chart. We'll track all of this so that it just is a little bit more visual. So I'm going to plug in a bunch of additional boxes so that we have something to work with. Now, the nice thing about these spreadsheets are when you create charts, these spreadsheets are pretty smart as to what they think you want. So I'm going to highlight the line that I want to chart, and then I'm going to insert a chart. It's going to be a line graph. Look at that. Just like that. I didn't even have to do anything. It already assumed that this was going to be the best type of chart for this spreadsheet. So what I'm going to do is I am going to highlight it, move it. That's working great. So I'm getting that out of the way. Now I just got to move it to where I want it. So if I highlight it and I move it, it will move up. And sorry, this computer, when I'm recording, is a little bit slow. It's a Google Chromebook, but man, is it handy for the price that you pay. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the graph. to fit in my spreadsheet so that we have a nice visual and it'll reach for throughout the whole 5 weeks there. So now, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit of a stickler for this stuff. Okay. This is bugging me. There we go. All right. So we have now that. Now let's just assume, make sure this is working right. Let's assume you're really crushing it at the end of the month. And we got a whole bunch of things done. Now, yeah, there we go. There we go. Nice. So now you see a graph that's kind of telling you how are things going and how many of your daily habit tasks you're getting done. I like that. Now you can play around with the chart if you want to, and we can do more with it. If you want to add dots or something, you can just edit the chart, and there's a lot of different options that you'll see. You know, the line chart itself can be changed to be a little smooth, or could just have more of a wave to it. You could add dots to each of the points if you want. There's a lot you could do. We are going to leave it as is. All right. Looking good. So now we have our daily habits tracker. We have a chart up top. We have the percentage complete down below. And I think the one item that I'd like to add to this is how many of the task did we complete for the month? You know, do something like that, because I think that that's probably our final tracker for the month. Now that we are tracking total habits for the day, we're also tracking for each individual habit, how often did you hit it for the month? So that'll be next. So what we need to do there is we just need to create some space and build out some rows, some columns here. So if I highlight some of my columns and then I right click, you'll get, with a right click, you'll get the, this will open up. It gives you options that are considered some of the most active options that typically a user uses. So that's what pops up. Now, when I add the columns, it automatically just includes whatever was in the previous column. So that is why we're seeing all the boxes and everything. Now, what I want to do is I want to wipe out all these boxes and I'm just going to backspace, and then all the boxes are gone. And now what I'd like to do is split this up into two categories. So what I will do is I'm going to change the color of one of the category areas, and I'm going to make this one cell. So as you can see, we're combining this cell. So we're going to, by hitting the merged cell icon there, we merge that. And now we're going to do the same for that one. Merge that. Boom. Okay. So now I'm going to say monthly tasks completed. Monthly task completed. We'll call it that. Monthly task completed. I don't like that. Task completed by month. Something like that. Task completed month. Now, as you can see, the font is too large, so we're going to make this font a 12. And I'm going to wrap it. There we go. Look at that. Just like that. Now we're going to do, I'm just going to copy paste here. I'm going to bring that back to make black. And this was, I'm going to call this task uncompleted by the month. There we go. Look at that. Now, what I'd like to do here is, once again, we're going to combine the cells, merge the cells for both of these, because I need to, I'm going to add up equals sum. We're going to add up all, oh man, let's do that again. Equal, sum up all of the man, this cell is getting in my way. So equal sum, make a column, parenthesis, open the parenthesis, close the parenthesis. There we go. All right. So we have the sum here. Now I want this sum to be in the middle. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy paste Control C, Control V. Now this is going to be slightly one off. So we have to go from, as you can see here, D12 through a H12. There we go. And there we go. D12 through AH12. Once again, task uncompleted. Now this task completed, let's double check. I'm going to copy that down and make sure it's adding properly. It should be adding the items in the categories. There we go. Look at that. That's nice. Wherever it's checked, it's adding. And what I need to do here for the task uncompleted, once again, it's about the number count minus so what we got to do here is let's see, equal count A. This time we're going to go equal count A and count all the days that we have in the month. Equal count A minus the actual task completed. That should be the tasks uncompleted. So in this case, there's 31 days. And let's see if this works. If I copy paste down, there we go. Very nice. So now we have our task completed, task uncompleted. I don't like the grid lines that are automatically created in a spreadsheet. So what I like to do is go to show, lose the grid lines so that there's nothing there unless I want them there. All right. Task completed, task uncompleted. Now we know what that is. That's looking good. That is looking good. What else should I do? Well, let's put if we go to these three dots here, we can edit the chart. You know what? I want to put a title on this chart. So all we got to do here is we go to customize chart and access titles, and we go to chart title, and we'll go, this is the task tracker chart, like that. Bam. And you can see it's there. Let's make it bold, or let's maybe make it wide. There we go. We could put it in the center. Nice. Good. All right, pull that out. And, well, let's highlight this again, and we might as well make this, let's stick it to the days, because that's it, and we can maybe fill this up with something. I don't like this empty space. We'll put something in there. You can always put something in there. But anyways, all right, so we got that. Now it's just a matter of cleanup more than anything. Like all of these are a little too blank maybe, where possibly we do a little bit of line action for everything. There we go. Very nice. Maybe I can, let's see here. We could make that merged for the full amount, so we fill up some space there. I don't know, maybe over here we can make this, once again, we could do something where if we want to merge this, some of these things I don't want to, and I could put January 23 again or something like that if we want to. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I am thinking we'll make it bold. We'll get this big. January 23. I'd like it to be centered. And centered. There we go. Nice. All right, look at that. Now we have a chart a task chart that checks everything. So now what do we got to do? I'm going to wipe out all those test check marks that we did. Just like that. Now we're clean again. And yes, got ourselves a daily habits monthly thing. Now, what can we do? The way to use this, first of all, is, again, if you want to exercise every day, maybe you put exercise on there. For me, it's far more social media, on Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn. I want to do that daily, something like that, whatever you want, whatever it is. Just plug in all of your daily habits and start tracking your daily habits. I'm going to share this with all of my clients and my friends at the Center for Entrepreneurial Leadership as well. And anybody who really wants it. What I'm going to do then next is, we'll make this worksheet January. Now, now that it's done, now what I can do is I can right click and duplicate, and I could do this 11 more times or 10 more times after I duplicate this one. This one, as you can see now, is a copy, and I'm going to make this February. So now we have a February, and now I'm just going to change everything to February. For this month, we are going to change it. So, I can maybe clean this up a little bit, but for now, it doesn't matter. We changed the January here. Looks like I got to change this. Look at that. We can make it February. I'll have to clean this up. We don't want it to say February 1. We want it to just say February. So where do we go? We go to here, custom date and time. All we want is it to say the month. That's it. So we just go with August. We delete that and we just apply that. There we go, February. Just like that, now we have February, and all we really need to do here, all I need to do is for each month, I need to just wipe out all of the categories that don't exist. So there is no week 5, but instead of, wiping everything out here, I'd prefer to just do this. So then if we do that, notice how our 31 turns to 28, but look at that. Obviously, I got a cell that I did not copy across, so I'm just going to go back to January, and I got a little cleanup to do. This is why you like to check these things. Notice what I didn't do. I didn't add the $signs to this. Bam. So now we have that minus 812. So everything should be working. I'm going to copy this down. Bam. And then for February, before I go and duplicate this one, I am going to take that and do the same. $sign there, $sign there, $sign there, $sign there. Boom. Nice. And then copy this down. We go with our 28s. That should be 28 across the board if we did this right. Look at that. And then see this? I don't know. I don't know if I'm really liking this, because now I'm going to have to change this every time. Even though it says February 23rd, that's February of 2023. And we could add that or not, but now we have our tracker. Now you have something. I'm just going to copy that, paste that for the rest of the year. And there you have it. A way to track your new year so that you can have the most productive year ever. If you're interested, I'm going to send this out there. Just send me a link. I'll be happy to share it with you. Send me an email. I'll share it with you. You don't have to spend the time to make it, but I know that people like watching this. So what the heck? I thought I would put this together for you. Got done in about an hour. How about that? Have a very productive year, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to get the most out of 2023. I know I will.